So we've got the closing off card of Ophiuchus now. 2 hours and 8 minutes and 10 seconds it was then when we just looked at the clock, which is amazing because you've got the 28 and the 10, which we always tend to go back to the psych ward experience because we've been journeying through the spiritual astro realm since our seizures in October 2016. And the first 2 years were very, I don't know, we don't have many connections to them, but they didn't go the best. There were good times in it, but there were lots of learning experiences and lessons. And the psych ward was the midpoint, kind of really, because what was February, March, April, May, June, July. So it's a bit longer than the midpoint. We're just over the midpoint, but it's like 3.3 years. So 3 years, 4 months. It's the 3 and the 4 coming up again. Where was the 3 and the 4 card? Calc. Gemini's energies. But it's 3.3 years, so it's also 33. We don't have a 33 card here, but it's 3 years, 4 months. And so 28 was the house we got picked up outside of naked, very much in our quadruple star energies of the nakedness. And we were in room number 10 in the psych ward. So that was just very momentous there because since 2017, we've been buying the Llewellyn Gardening by the Moon book, so living in the lunar cycles so that we can get maximum output with most ease in a really efficient way. And we've had some real lovely validation from that, where we'll be doing a live, not it's like a box opening, but it's not. It's a box opening of I Scry with Steph, of an ink blot that she did for us, and that we've got to spend lots of time on it. There's so much information there, but it's such great validation. And she said that the cards were coming out really efficiently, and that we were really grateful for that because that's what we've been training ourselves to do, especially since the psych ward. Which was when we had our kind of forced terror moment, put into what a lot of us felt like a really life-threatening situation out of our control, but where we remembered who we were and what we had done over our whole life with all of our traveling independently and on our own, being a solo female, and the self-love for ourselves. And so we kind of needed that cosmic kick up the arse. So yeah, it's a real integrating energetics that's going on at the moment of balance and wholeness, and we hope you're feeling it. We hope you're feeling it too, and we would love to hear about it. Let us know in the comments below how it's all impacting you. And so to close it off, we'll close it off with this card, and then what we did at the end of last week was we did the repatterning of the colour and the patterns, and so we will do that after we close off with this card, and then we'll just leave it up for a little while with the music. Oh, we can't remember which this one came up with, but it was beautiful. We can remember this, we can. It was gently tiptoeing across. Aries. I think it was the very first video that we put up, which was on Shintos. So it would have been last week's Aries. So this is the card that we ended on last week's for Aries energetics. And this is the card that we're ending on today for the closing of Ophiuchus. So if you're 30, oh, look at that. And we just said we didn't have 3.3, the 33. So this was the opening of Ophiuchus, and this was the closing of Ophiuchus. That's 30. This is 21, which adds up to 3. 34, which is the card we just brought up at the moment, and before, because it's 3.3 months, no, 3.3 years, 3 years and 4 months. And 21, why we brought this up then was not because of that. We brought this up then because 21 over 34 is the golden ratio that we just mentioned before. And the golden ratio to us is the center, the golden rate is the center of that spiral vortex pattern of the Fibonacci sequence, that the Fibonacci sequence. It brings you to that center, the ratios on top of each other. So we always see 21 and 34 as the golden ratio. Now, I'm not sure which one of us has said that, but we've repeated it between us. But I know when we start going into doing our sacred geometry more and the drawing, we're really going to understand it, because I'm sure one of the other ones of us that's been doing bit technical analysis has worked, and along with the tuning forks, the sound healing ones of us that do the tuning forks and have the Fibonacci set. Look at that, we're itching our left forearm. We always notice when the tarot readers itch their left forearm. The forearms and the calves relate to your ascending and descending colon, your ascending and your descending colon. So we'll have to look into our polarity for therapy book again, but we're pretty sure the left calf and the left forearm relates to your descending. So there's a clearing out of the channels in your descending colon to allow the Ophiuchus, serpent bearer, the Kundalini energies to fully flow now, so that the horizontal channel of the transverse colon that can create the big belly and get really slack can start now flushing through, because there's been this centering action of the golden ratio, 21 over 34, 33 being communication, 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. 5 is change again. 5 has come up a lot here in this corner. So maximum output, most ease is the primary, most important thing. Most ease. When we're dancing within the subatomic rounds, within the subtle energies, we need to do it really gently, really carefully, really attentively, where we understand that less is more. And if we get at all in our ego and push things, then we will have a harsh tower moment happen to us. And sadly, or not sadly, because it just is what it is, sadly is putting a judgment to it or attachment to it. But sometimes, if you're like us, you know, we went into these alternate personalities, we did feel like we were losing our mind. And when we did have our mind, sometimes it was at the age of a 4-year-old. And we didn't know any better. We weren't ignorant. We were just naive. We weren't pushing ourselves and wanting something and searching for something. We've just been searching and wanting to be happy and have a physically pain-free life. And we've always done it with a lot of respect. And from another perspective, things weren't at all that bad. They were, from one perspective, they were pretty bad, but from another perspective, they could have been a hell of a lot worse. And so it's always good to be able to see all ends, sides of the spectrum, from outside, top to bottom, bottom to top, left to right, right to left, front to back, back to front, upside down, right way up, upside down, outside in, and inside out. And when we're able to embrace all those perspectives, understanding that there's at least 6 perspectives and then the opposites, which means there's 12, then we get this real centering, we get this real feeling of balance and harmony and equilibrium. And that's what we've been starting to feel. And we're grateful, we're so grateful. And the gently tiptoed across. Also the walking on tippy toes widens this part of your foot And this part of your foot is the shoulder line, which is also related to your lungs and the expansion of your lungs, which we've been having issues with, and the pain because of the fused collarbone. But it's been doing it in stages. So we feel that that's going to really start loosening up and aligning, and things are going to get even easier, and that will just even be more grateful. And because things will get easier and the pain will lessen, we're going to get more active again, like we used to be. But before, we always struggled when we were active because there's always the knee pain or the back pain or the lung pain or whatever pain was going on. And we never had balance or coordination, but we'd still give it a go to surf, we'd still give things a go. Whereas now we're actually going to be able to have that balance. And so normally when one gets older, things seem to start getting harder. But I've got this feeling we're going to start finding things easier because the start of our life's been so hard. And so if you've joined us here on these energies, then we welcome you into this sense of ease, where less is more, where there's ease, least effort, most ease with maximum output. Because degeneration with age, we feel, is a victim consciousness, being a victim to a genetic blueprint, an outdated traditional point of view, whereas we can become modernized and choose to embrace people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Nassim Haramein, Jill Bolt Taylor, so many people, most importantly, Bruce Lipton with epigenetics, where epi means above genetics, above our genetic makeup. Genetics being nature, above genes, nurture. And so when we nurture ourselves with these Cancer new moon energies of 61 self-love, because we were seeing this from the energetic rounds of perception and experience, which tend to be in a very simplistic way the opposite, which means it's really a 61, not a 16. And we feel that to be so strongly our truth because of what we experienced through these distorted lenses of perceptions over these last 7 years. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, it'll be 7 years in October this year that we had the seizures, and that adds up to 7 again as well. 5, 6, and 7, your linear progression. And so this is the opening and the closing of Ophiuchus, the bonus card that jumped out of the All rune, which has these colours in here in the middle. You got your reds, you got your orange, you got your yellows, you got your greens. You've got your pinks, your deeper heart, you've got your blue. You've even got bits of indigo and violet, but not much. But that's great. That's exactly what we want. We don't want much indigo and violet because we've managed to harness the cosmic energies and gently guide them down through our incarnate physical body. The energetic body is coming in. We have so much to share on this in the future of our experiences. But we're going to have to stop because we've got rushes of emotions coming. And there's lots going on energetically. Like at the moment, what's going on in our inside nostril on our left is there's this tension going on. It's starting to split. So we need to stop, and we need to go get some silent time, which is great because I mean we did a couple of hours before we did this live, so that's almost up to 4.5 hours. So we're going to stop talking and we're going to adjust the patterns here and see what comes out, and then we're just going to leave it with the patterns and some music at the end. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, all of you Astro energies, for allowing us to perceive and experience, for allowing us to experience and perceive through your energetic lenses of perception, experiential. Yeah, we've lost it on the words, but thank you so much. Namaste. So who are we on now? We're on the Cardinals. We can't remember what we started with. Did we start with Aries? Because it's the opposite. So if we started with Aries, it would have gone Aries and Libra, blank. I don't even know if we said it at the beginning. Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer. Because that's Taurus and Earth. Well, that's Earth, Virgo. You didn't want to be underneath, did you? So that would be Capricorn and Cancer. That's Sagittarius, though, and that's underneath. So those aren't underneath, but these are. Okay, so Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer. They're at diagonals. These are in linear. Okay, yeah, that's the cross going on, the diagonal cross and the lengthway cross. That makes sense.